What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Asus Ally X and Asus Z1 Extreme gameplay video for you guys today. And today, we're gonna try out that Atomic Heart game. Now, so far, it actually ran all right on the Steam Decks. I mean, it wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. Couldn't hit constant 60, but at least it was getting us playable FPS. So these should be able to do slightly better. Obviously, if I do 1080p high, it probably will struggle to do 30 FPS, but maybe not. I thought that in the last game I tested out, that Atom Fall game, I think it was called. Who knows? I'm just gonna stay positive. We're gonna get this thing hooked up to the capture computer, and we're gonna go and get started, so.
Well, it's probably not gonna go well, but we're gonna try what we usually try and do 1080p high. Now you could probably get away with 1080p if you dropped everything to low and get acceptable-ish FPS, but I don't know. I've always been in the state of mind, if I'm gonna do low settings, I might as well also drop the resolution to get even more FPS. But hey, not everybody's the same, and it's nice to have options. But anyway, let's get to the game. Alright, well, like I thought, this is not very playable FPS at all. But I'll at least get a tiny bit of gameplay like this for the very few people that would probably find this acceptable.
Oh, we've got plenty of time. We can even go on rides afterwards.
Cheltenham City floats on the Icarus platform, a feat of modern science and technology. This city in the clouds was built in 1950. Leading scientists from all the other Soviet republics live here, including the German SSR. You need to have an exceptionally brilliant and dedicated mind to work here.
Would you care for some more soda, comrade?
Sure, thanks.
Alright, now 900p time. And we're gonna go with medium settings now. And alright, with that, let's go hop back into the game, and I think we'll probably get some pretty playable FPS now. At least in this area anyway. Alright, at least in this particular area we're getting pretty playable FPS.
Yeah.
Now, could it drop under 30 other places in the game? Absolutely. But I don't think it would too often, if it does.
Wow.
But again, I haven't gone through the whole game on this system, so I'm not going to make any baseless claims. I'm just assuming here, judging by what I see.
What's up with your Vovas bots, Andre? They're going haywire. What the hell did you do to them?
They've been like that all day. Number 3 is booked. I need these houses painted, but look at what they're doing instead.
Give me your control code. I'll set them straight. Hold piggy, sweetie.
Oh, thanks, Mum. The code's 0451.
Okay then. Get to work, you bums. Move it! Move it!
Oh, you did it. Oh, thanks a million. Enjoy the celebration.
Good morning, my boy. How are you? Did you sleep well?
Good morning, Dr. Sechenov. I slept fine. Awaiting orders.
How do you like the new glove?
Better than the old one. It's growing on me.
I'd expect nothing less. I designed the device myself. Be careful with it now. It's more important than you might think.
Yes, Dr. Sechenov. I'll keep it safe.
Report to the lab to complete your integration with the glove. I've got a full schedule today, so Mikhail Stockhausen will get you up to speed. I'll be in touch later.
Roger that.
You've been ordered to the laboratory, Comrade Major. There's a turbine waiting for you at the airway. Are your orders clear?
Crystal, get off my case already.
I'm pleased to hear you don't have any questions, for once.
You dickhead.
Alright, let's finally get to actually walking around a little bit here.
collect your thoughts and have you been to the...
Comrades, assemble near the Brown Plague Memorial for a tour. Learn about the history.
Everyone here seems so happy and content. Just like in China.
You've been to China, Comrade Major?
I've been everywhere. I mean, everywhere except for China, I guess.
Facility 3826 isn't all that far from our Chinese allies.
I like their spirit. And I hear it's nice there.
Indeed it is.
Major Nechayev reporting for duty on Comrade Sechenov's direct order.
Welcome, Comrade Major. Today is a joyful occasion. The birthday of Collective.
Yeah, many happy returns. Cut to the chase, would you? I've got places to be.
Naturally. This is the future of Soviet education. A personal project of Dr. Sechenov's poly-education. Gone are the days when Soviet citizens had to spend years studying at educational institutions. From this moment on, just inject a special neuropolymer encoded with the education you want, a university-level natural sciences curriculum, for example, and you'll instantly become an educated member of society. Want to learn Korean, or get a doctorate in nuclear physics, or learn to play the piano? With Collective 2.0, you can.
Yeah, been there, done that. Skip the foreplay, bot.
Excuse me, of course. Your particular case definitely calls for something more efficacious. Nevertheless, you will still need an initial neuropolymer injection. Comrade Sechenov is expecting you, Agent P3. I've been informed of your imminent arrival. Here, take this capsule.
Alright, well, I guess it's time to put weird shit into ourselves.
You have just upgraded your glove with scanner functionality. Using the neuropolymer.
So, now we're going to do 720p with performance settings. And this gets us really, really nice FPS. I think there's still one spot we drop under 60, but I think that's it. But alright, to the game. So now here we go with a little 720p and low.
To activate the scanner, just make a
Still get
special
some
gesture.
random stutters
Please
here and there,
choose
but
an
we're
object
definitely
of
getting much better
interest and
frame right
extend your
now.
arm toward it.
Right around where
The
I
palm
like
of
it
your
usually in
hand
games,
should be
actually,
facing
which is
down
nice.
your expect-
Sucks we had to turn it to low to
shit,
get
bot.
there,
Who
but
designed this thing?
it
The
is what it
Spanish
is.
Inquisition?
It's very common on these handhelds. Not that it wasn't playable before. I just didn't know if that was going to be playable for the whole thing,
For
so I
your
figured let's
information,
test out
that's a
720p like we
highly
usually do
user-friendly
too. Why the heck
gesture.
not?
It was
It'd be
developed
silly to
by our leading expert in the
disinclude it at
field
this
of
point.
advanced interpretive avant-garde absurdist Dadaism.
Whatever that guy's been smoking, sign me up.
Didn't you say you were in a hurry just a moment ago?
Shut your trap and keep scanning, would you? I'm getting acquainted with the new hardware.
You are now capable of seeing hidden objects. This ability could prove very useful in the future. But for now, please continue with your mission.
Comrades, the address by the Director General of Facility 3826, Dr. Sechenov, is about to begin.
Greetings, comrades. I am Dmitry Sechenov, and this is Facility 3826. A warm welcome to your future.
Report to the lobby of that high-rise, Comrade.
Today, we stand on the brink of the greatest event in the history of mankind. We find ourselves just one small step away from an amazing evolutionary that will profoundly change the world as we know it.
So glad to see you're taking it easy, Comrade Major. The car is waiting.
I'm not exaggerating.
You must go to Dr. Sechenov's office for the access code. It's been left with one of his bodyguards.
Yeah, naturally. I love this place. No matter how many times I come here, it always amazes me. It's just so nice.
Our elevator has arrived.
Talk about style. Science is power, I tell you. The boss has a way of looking down on insurmountable obstacles. I really respect that.
There are no obstacles science cannot surmount.
Here's your vehicle activation code, Comrade Major.
Got it.
Alright, I'll take your strange key.
You should hurry. You don't have much time.
We could take the same elevator we took to get up here.
No, alright, so we can't go any further. I figured they were not going to let us see the dude in person, but whatever. Back down we go.
We'll meet you there and take you to the Vavilov complex. Understood?
Yes, sir. I'm getting in the car right now.
Alright, let's get into our weird car that we're going to have a robot fly for us. Definitely a little weird, but hey, it is what it is. It's not like this game's not a little weird.
Please secure your seatbelt. We wish you a very pleasant journey.
Isn't there supposed to be a radio in here?
Alright, well, here we go.
The Soviet Union is ecstatic about the unveiling of Collective 2.0 with
Yeah, I just came from
parades
one
in
of them.
every
I get
city.
it.
The American government is expressing deepening concern about the skyrocketing unemployment figures following the deliveries of robotic
Politics,
workers
screw
from the
that.
Soviet.
We've got plenty of thought devices. There won't be a shortage, said People's Deputy Alexander Shalchinov in response to widespread concern in the city of Ozyorsk.
How about some music? That's more like it.
Alright though, time to move on. Now for the Ally X here, we're going to do the same thing we did on the Z1 Extreme. We'll do Gen AP, even though I know it's not going to go well. Then we'll go drop it down to 900p medium, and then of course 720p low, and then at the very end we'll get some camera-recorded gameplay on the both of them too. Alright, that is the bottom, so why don't we go ahead and get ourselves back into the game. Well, alright, here we are again at 1080p high, this time on the X though, but the X may be a tiny bit more powerful than the Z1 Extreme, but it's usually only enough for just like the Steam Deck OLED, like 3 to 5 FPS in very specific games. Other than that, it's almost indistinguishable from one another. Now, where you will get a nice boost on this X is if you were playing any games that were VRAM starved, where 6 just wasn't enough. Because you could do 8 on the Z1 Extreme, but then you'd be RAM starved in most modern games. So 6 was about your limit. But sometimes that still wasn't enough. Well, if you were trying to do 1080p. I've never really played too many games where 720p 6 isn't enough. 4 is almost never enough, it seems. That frickin' Firebat, that thing gets its ass kicked a bunch because of VRAM. If I could get it to actually do the 8 gigs it's supposed to be using, I think it'd be alright. But I have a sneaking suspicion that I need to upgrade to 64 gigs of RAM, and then it'll probably let me do it. I think it's a Windows thing. Stuff like the Allies and all the other Windows handhelds usually have something like armory crate to control TDPs and all of that crap. So you probably need a program like that. So I'm going to try to do more research, and maybe I could use, like, I don't even know, maybe like G-Helper or something like G-Helper for desktops. But anyway, this is silly. Let's go and move on to a more reasonable. Oh, here we go, 900p, a much more playable experience. It won't get you a perfect 60 all the time by any means, but at least now you can get playable FPS. And most people consider playable anything 30 and up. Me, I like 60 as my bare minimum for most of the games, but on handhelds, I'm not as big or I don't find it as big of a deal, you know? Especially because when you play games at 30 or 40, sometimes you can even save battery. I mean, unless that's all they could do in the first place, obviously. Here we are, back in the game, and now we're getting in the 50s. There'll still be some drops in the 40s, I do believe, once we get out of our little ship and start walking around.
Wow,
but
what a beautiful day.
And there's a couple spots that, much like the last game I tested, where it just has a stutter every once in a while. The one seems to stutter when it saves. A lot of games do that, especially Bethesda games from what I remember. Anytime they had to save, you get a tiny little frame time skip. But not the end of the world. Thankfully, this thing has a VRR screen, so as long as the frame time skips aren't too bad, it'll hide them pretty well. But what it can't do is it cannot work miracles. People expect FreeSync and G-Sync to be able to just stop something from looking like lag if it drops from, like, let's say we're getting 50, 60 right now. If it drops down to 30 all of a sudden here, you're going to notice that. There's no way you're not going to notice that. Like, even somebody who's not susceptible to frame rate would be like, oh, what the heck was that? Was that a lag? You know? But yeah, I wish more games looked, you know, more like this and ran like this. Like, it'd be great if there was no stutters at all, don't get me wrong, but I'm used to games being, like, so stutter-festy that they're almost unplayable. Like, how when Silent Hill 2 first came out, that game, even on the most high-end PCs, would stutter like crazy. The first Final Fantasy remake, that stuttered really bad, too. I mean, Free Rebirth does, too, but nowhere near at the same level. I can still at least play Rebirth. I'm a little annoyed by the little frame time things, but I have a feeling there's stuff you could do to negate it.
Roger that.
That, or who knows, maybe it was just Afterburner the whole time. Because it sure seemed like it ran a little bit better on my 14900K and 4090 system. Frame time wise, obviously not frame rate wise. If my 4090 system ever wins in frame rate, there's something wrong with my 5090. Even the weakest 5090 shouldn't get beat by a 4090. And this is one of the most powerful 5090s too. So it definitely should not be losing. Though funny enough, when you're just kind of like chilling and not doing anything on it, it doesn't really clock up that high. At least mine doesn't. So that makes me wonder, did I lose the Silicon lottery? A lot of people are like, oh yeah, I got mine up to like 3.1 gigahertz, no problem. Me, I probably won't even be able to hit 3. But that's okay. If that's the case, I'll just go the opposite and try to maybe like undervolt it or something like that. Although last time I tried to undervolt my 4090, it like made it have really bad performance. Like, yeah, I lost some temps, but then I'd lose like 30 frames in games. I'm like, what the heck? Maybe that one just you can't do that with. It just doesn't like it. Or who knows? Maybe I was doing something wrong. That's always a possibility. User error is often one of the most key things done wrong, where everybody thinks it's the program's fault and it's like, nah, it's just you. And it sucks to, you know, not be able to do something like shit. I just failed to install Java not too long ago on my Steam Deck. Felt like an absolute retard. Sitting here like, dude, it seems like everybody else and their mother can do this. And I'm following a video, and I'm literally following it to a T. Then I get to the part where you have to like type some stuff into the terminal. I copy and paste that bitch, because he's like, hey, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't want to risk screwing it up, here you go. Copy and paste this. And it didn't work. So I was like, okay, maybe he messed up. Let's type it out. Still nothing. And I'm like, man, I feel like this is one of those situations my friend would come over and be like, dude, what the hell? I did this easy at my house. Let me do it for you. Okay, what the fuck? Why is this not working for you? It should be. I'm like, yeah, shit does this to me all the time.
This is the future of Soviet education.
I'll do it right. Sometimes I don't, but when I do it right, it's like, what the hell's going on, man? Can't you just let me do what everybody else does?
Had to spend years studying at educational institutions.
Alright, I'm not gonna just stand in front of her and listen to this speech. Although I guess I could have just skipped. I keep forgetting there's the X and I could have just read through everything we've already seen and then moved on, but I don't know. Kind of felt like normal just doing the exact same thing I did on the other ones, you know? Didn't skip on those, so I didn't feel like skipping on this one, I guess is what I'm saying. I try in these kinds of videos to do the same thing I just did, if that's what we're doing. Or if I find a good spot to, like, roam around, I'll do that. Like Atomfall, you start off in a bunker. I didn't really want to always start in a bunker and waste, like, 8 minutes getting out of the bunker. So I was like, okay, we'll just save right when we get out, and I'm just going to go around and try to kill all the outlaws. And I think I've almost succeeded, actually.
Here, take this capsule.
At least in that area. I'm sure there's more, and who knows, they might respawn or something. But no time to care about that now. We have to inject ourselves with some weird-ass substance. So let's go ahead and do it. That shit almost looks like digital DNA. Oh, and it spins. How fun. And it's like, haha, you've been affected by virus. Now you too are going to go around and try to kill everyone. And it's like, aw, man, really? Luckily not. But let us move on. Now we'll do 720p just like we did on the Z1 Extreme. And this is what I would probably play at because I want my 60 plus. Yeah, the game doesn't look as impressive this way, but that's okay. And besides, if you really wanted to sit there and tinker for a minute and spend some time, you could probably turn a bunch of stuff up to medium, maybe even one thing up to high, and still get around 60 average. Just not ray tracing. I feel like ray tracing can get us like 12 FPS no matter what. Maybe I should have tried it though. It could have surprised us. Well, now here we are back in the game, and now we're getting exactly what I like in a single player. 80 to 100 FPS, that's about all I need. Anything else is just icing on the cake for me.
Should be facing the object. Contract all the fingers on your hand, except for your thumb and index.
And then once you switch over to the actual screen itself, then I won't have to deal with all this like input lag and stuff. I always just do what this program specifically tells me not to do, and I'm always just watching my OBS screen. They want you to hook a monitor up to your capture card so you don't have to deal with all the input lag, but I don't have anywhere to put an extra monitor.
That's a highly user-friendly gesture.
I was originally going to put like a little tiny one, like a little 24-inch 1080p or 1440p or something like that monitor next to it, just to have for that, but not on that glass table. I'm not going to try to like clamp something to it. No, thank you.
Shut your trap and keep scanning, would you?
I do that, next thing I know, I crack it and then it can't go clear anymore or something. I'm glad that hasn't broken on me yet. I feel like if it was going to, it would have already. That's kind of like one of the key things on that case people said. They're like, some people have a problem with the freaking inverter that makes the glasswork dying real quick. But mine didn't do that, so maybe they fixed it or I just got lucky. I've already had that case for over a year and it hasn't done that yet. And I'm constantly flipping it on and off. Anytime I do an intro or an outro, it gets flipped on or off. And sometimes I just want to look at my system. So I'll look at it real quick and then turn it back to gloss. Or not gloss, but, you know, frosted. And then your RGB lights and all that shit doesn't really bother you. It doesn't go on your screen anymore. If you look down, you can still see it's happening on your table, but it doesn't distract me. But if you're easily distracted, I wouldn't suggest something like that. But it's a great space saver. If you don't got a lot of space and you don't want a case sitting on the floor or something, well, there you go. Now your computer case and your table are all in one. And I didn't have a shit ton of space in this apartment, so it's not the smallest apartment ever, but it's definitely not, you know, a 6,000 square foot house or anything crazy like that. So you have to make do with a little bit of, you know, smaller stuff. So that's what I did. Same reason I don't have a 100-inch TV. Can't fit it. That, and I thought the 77-inch OLED was about the best you could get. Any more than that, and you'd probably want 8K, and then 8K is just, that's too hard to run right now. Even my 5090 would go, haha, no. So that's why I was like, nope, 77 inches and 4K, I think that's probably good. Yeah, I started skipping the stupid elevator ride too. Thank God that I just have a pause button. I've really got to set that up on my other OBS stuff, like on my Firebat and my laptops. I know there's a way to pause on there too, I just have to set up a hotkey. But knowing me, I'm so used to just doing Alt F9 that I'd forget whatever I set it up to be and just go, well, I'll just stop the whole video then.
Here's your vehicle activation code, Comrade Major.
Got it.
The vehicle is waiting downstairs. You should hurry. You don't have much time.
We can take the same elevator we took to get up here.
Anyway, let's get moving. Sometimes you just have to, you know, admire the view and the assets.
And that's where men like you come in, Sergey.
All right, we're already back down. I wished I could have just skipped the elevator ride in the real game too, but I had to watch it. Now, the Z1 Extreme did not do these weird little frame times in this place. Not that I remember anyway. You guys can scroll back and look for yourselves too, but I don't remember it doing this. But other than that, they were very similar. But I would still give the win to this one because I can actually play for a decent amount of time without it dying in my hands. The other one would have been like, this game probably would have been like a 40, 45-minute game, something like that. But this one would probably play for like 2 hours and some change. Like, this looks like probably like it'd be like a 2 hour and 45-minute kind of game. Because it's not as hard to run as Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk made it like, I think, 2 hours and 50 or something like that on it. I can't remember when I did the battery test, but if I'm mentioning the wrong numbers, you guys can obviously just go look at that battery test video I did and go, oh, that's what it got. I never tried to say the wrong stuff, but I do so many videos, it's hard to remember them all. So I'm sure it's bound to happen once or twice. But anyway, I'm going to take this hit.
Please secure your seatbelt. We wish you a very pleasant journey.
Isn't there supposed to be a radio in here?
The entire Soviet Union is ecstatic about the unveiling of Collective 2.0 with
Yeah, I just came
parades
from one
in
of them.
every
I get
city.
it.
The American government is expressing deepening concern about the skyrocketing unemployment figures following the deliveries of robotic
Politics,
workers
screw
from the
that.
Soviet.
We've got plenty of thought devices. There won't be a shortage, said People's Deputy Alexander Shalchinov in response to widespread concern in the city of Ozyorsk.
How about some music? That's more like it.
I see you finally begun your assignment. And it's been less than an hour.
Alright, now for some camera recording gameplay.
What did you just say?
I said the signal's on the fritz, but thanks anyway, Herr Stockhausen. Dr. Sechenov already filled me in.
Don't you think that may have been a bit too much?
Nope.
For some reason, your response didn't surprise me at all.
Guess I don't have any respect for brown-nosers.
Tell me, is there anyone you do have respect for?
Sure, but respect is earned. Dr. Sechenov has mine because he saved my life on the operating table. Everybody else needs to earn it. Anyway, why the hell are we riding a jalopy strapped to a damn robot? Were all the jets taken or something? Shit.
Riding turbines is an important tradition. It's a way to remember the days when Facility 3826 was brand new, as we used to ride these vehicles to our very first scientific complex.
Fair enough, but why is it a tradition to have them pulled by bumblebees? And why do we call them bumblebees when they look more like flying pigs?
Flying pigs? Have you seen flying pigs before? How about flying cows?
Yeah, on the Condor. One time some genius like you forgot to put up a fence, but those cows only flew in one direction. Straight down.
I have a suggestion, Comrade Major. Why don't you worry about your mission, and I'll do the thinking for both of us?
Shut the hell up, Glove. I'm trying to listen.
To what? Is there anything here you haven't seen yet?
I've never been here before. Zip it.
What? How come?
I don't know, damn it. Now quit bugging me.
My apologies.
Going to a clap.
This is Facility 3826's audio guide. We will soon be arriving at our destination. Estimated time of arrival is 11:47 a.m. Outside temperature, 26 degrees Celsius. There is a slight breeze. You can now observe the Soyuz Granite Bridge spanning Lake Lazur and two of the facility's high-profile test sites, the VDNH and Sakhalin. These are connected by magnetic levitation or maglev rail. This technology was pioneered by the Chelomey Design Department and a personal project of Dr. Lebedyansky. You can now observe the operations of an automated plant, performing robot assembly and distributing machine parts required by the facility's various complexes. Controlled remotely by a collective 1.0 node, a plant such as this is capable of autonomously managing and fulfilling up to 100 orders per hour.
Well, hopefully we can still get like 10 minutes.
We'll see what it does.
Directly below is Dr. Sechenov's computational center, the main radio processing unit and control nexus for this network node. We are currently flying over sunflower solar farms, capable of supplying electricity to the entire VDNH, as well as the Friendship of People's Park, nearby settlements, and the maglev train lines. Maglev train stations connect all of Facility 3826, allowing personnel to travel from one complex to another with comfort and ease. We are now flying past the majestic Call of the Motherland Monument, erected in 1949 to mark the Soviet Union's victory in World War II, and are now entering the grounds of the Vavilov Complex, the site where Facility 3826's numerous agricultural miracles took root. You are now observing the Soviet Sickle Monument, designed by sculptors Elena Mukhina and Alexander Kibalnikov, and autonomously erected in 1951 by the Collective 1.0 Neural Network with the help of robot builders. Note that this effectively makes it the world's first collaborative artistic effort between man and machine. Our brief guided tour is coming to an end. Facility 3826 is always ready to welcome new specialists from anywhere in the Soviet Union. We are confident that you will be thrilled to live and work in this world of revolutionary breakthroughs and fantastic scientific achievements for the glory of the Communist Party and the Soviet people.
Major, Petrov is initiating combat maneuvers.
Initiating what? For real? Watch out! What am I supposed to do about it?
I was about to say, there's nothing we can do. We don't got guns. We're in like a 1940s car. Like he said, attached to a frickin' flying bumblebee thing.
You have reached your destination.
Well, now we're in a building.
Have a nice day. Take my hand, Comrade Major. I will escort you to the Vavilov complex.
What in the sweaty hell is going on here?
Unfortunately, I have no information on the subject. All the robots have been carrying out their normal operations until they suddenly became hostile. Oh,
what the hell are you doing, lousy bot? Get your rusty metal asses out of here!
That was really very rude of them.
The elevator is now operational.
Fuck off, bitch!
Stand straight. Ow.
Our ascent is once again continuing normally. A Drofa towing robot will be here shortly to perform magnetic coupling and take us by air to...
Son of a bitch, not again.
Yep, here it is.
Oh, help me, Comrade Major. I'm falling.
What the shit?
Seems to be more like rising, but hey. He's the one falling.
15%. I just want 10 minutes. We're already at 8 basically, so I think we'll be okay. This one wasn't like the other Steam Decks where it just died for no reason. But it's probably going to be barely enough battery. I'll probably have to plug it in instead of just setting it aside. I usually just set them down while I do the other one and shut the screen off, obviously. But I don't know. When we're done with this, it might not have enough. It might die on me before I can come back and get my outro. And I don't want it to die on me like in the middle of an outro.
My head's killing me. Ugh.
Still dropped under 60. But at least it hasn't done that much. Steam Deck did it quite a bit. Not all the time, but more than this one has so far. Alright, let's go get into a little battle
Wizard,
with these guys
this is
up here, and then I
P3.
think that'll
Come
be
in.
good to wrap up after
Sergey,
that.
are you all right, my boy?
I'm okay, boss.
If the thing doesn't die on me
But nothing
first.
here is the way it's supposed to be. Whatever's going on clearly started a while ago.
Viktor Petrov is the reason. He's a traitor who hacked into Collective's central hub and caused the civilian robots to attack facility employees. Petrov has the access codes for the hub. Your mission is to find him. Bring him to me, alive.
Copy that, sir. The target is Viktor Petrov. My mission is to find him and bring him to you.
Exactly. Sechenov out.
None of you had anything to pick up, huh? Oh, now we're down to 10%. But we also just got to 10 minutes, so that's perfect time. I told you it'd barely do it, but it did do it. Alright, now for some camera-recorded gameplay on the Ally X here.
Don't you think that may have been a bit too much? Nope. For some reason,
So far they seem pretty similar in performance, although this one did some weird frame time skips that I don't think the other one did. Unless I just wasn't paying attention. I don't think the Z1 Extreme had those weird frame time things coming out of the elevator.
Mine because he saved my life on the operating table. Everybody else needs to earn it. Anyway, why the hell are we riding a jalopy strapped to a damn robot? Were all the jets taken or something? Shit.
Riding turbines is an important tradition. It's a way to remember the days when Facility 3826 was brand new, as we used to ride these vehicles to our very first scientific complex.
Fair enough, but why is it a tradition to have them pulled by bumblebees? And why do we call them bumblebees when they look more like flying pigs?
Flying pigs? Have you seen flying pigs before? How about flying cows?
Yeah, on the Condor. One time some genius like you forgot to put up a fence, but those cows only flew in one direction. Straight down.
I have a suggestion, Comrade Major. Why don't you worry about your mission, and I'll do the thinking for both of us?
Shut the hell up, Glove. I'm trying to listen.
To what? Is there anything here you haven't seen yet?
I've never been here before. Zip it.
What? How come?
I don't know, damn it. Now quit bugging me.
My apologies.
Alright, now we gotta descend through the clouds.
This is Facility 3826's audio guide. We will soon be arriving at our destination. Estimated time of arrival is 11:47 a.m.
I don't think that's gonna
On-site
happen.
temperature, 26 degrees
Something
Celsius.
tells me.
There is a slight breeze. You can now observe the Soyuz Granite Bridge spanning Lake Lazur. and two of the facility's high-profile test sites, the VDNH and Sakhalin. These are connected by magnetic levitation or maglev rail. This technology was pioneered by the Chelomey Design Department and a personal project of Dr. Lebedyansky. You can now observe the operations of an automated plant, performing robot assembly and distributing machine parts required by the facility's various complexes. Controlled remotely by a collective 1.0 node, a plant such as this is capable of autonomously managing and fulfilling up to 100 orders per hour.
Man, that's a lot of orders.
Directly below is Dr. Sechenov's computational center, the main radio processing unit and control nexus for this network node. We are currently flying over sunflower solar farms, capable of supplying electricity to the entire VDNH, as well as the Friendship of People's Park, nearby settlements, and the maglev train lines. Maglev train stations connect all of Facility 3826, allowing personnel to travel from one complex to another with comfort and ease. We are now flying past the majestic Call of the Motherland monument, erected in 1949 to mark the Soviet Union's victory in World War II, and are now entering the grounds of the Vavilov complex, the site where Facility 3826's numerous agricultural miracles took root. You are now observing the Soviet Sickle Monument, designed by sculptors Elena Muhina and Alexander Kibalnikov, and autonomously erected in 1951 by the Collective 1.0 Neural Network with the help of robot builders. Note that this effectively makes it the world's first collaborative artistic effort between man and machine. Our brief guided tour is coming to an end. Facility 3826 is always ready to welcome new specialists from anywhere in the Soviet Union. We are confident that you will be thrilled to live and work in this world of revolutionary breakthroughs and fantastic scientific achievements for the glory of the Communist Party and the Soviet people.
Major, the drove is initiating combat maneuvers.
Initiating what? For real? Watch out! What am I supposed to do about it?
Safety,
What the?
please do not unfasten your seatbelt until the vehicle has come to a complete stop. You have reached your destination. You are now at the laboratory gate of the Vavilov Hospital facilities.
Alright. The car has come to a
Comrade
complete stop.
Major, I will escort you to the Vavilov complex.
What in the sweaty hell is going on here?
Unfortunately, I have no information on the subject. All the robots
Can't remember. I
have been
wonder why
carrying out their normal
these
operations
robots
until they
aren't
suddenly
affected.
became hostile.
Maybe they have like a stronger computer or something, and it's not as easy as affected as the rest of them. Who knows?
That was really very rude of them.
It was.
Fuck off, bitch!
Our ascent is once again continuing normally. A Drofa towing robot will be here shortly to perform
So we're
magnetic
basically in the
coupling
glass elevator
and
from
take
Willy
us
Wonka
by
and Chocolate
air
Factory,
to...
essentially.
Son of a bitch, not again.
Well, we're not going to be for long.
Help me, Comrade Major. I'm falling.
You're flying. I'm falling. I don't know how he survived that. He'd have so much glass in his ass. And let's see, what's this one at for battery life? 67. Plenty in the tank. That's why this one's awesome. Like, not only is it more comfortable, but you actually have usable battery life. The other ones, even though the battery is not cooked like my Steam Deck OLEDs is, it's like, it just never was great. A 40 watt hour battery with all that power just was a recipe for disaster. I think they intended to just have it be plugged in all the time or into a battery bank, and I'm just not about all that. I like having no wires and being able to move around, you know? Heck, I could just be making a video for you guys, have it plugged into the wall right here, and then Misty goes next to me and scares out. Oh, now it's doing that shit where you have to wiggle it just perfectly. Luckily, this thing has got 2 frickin' ports, so it wouldn't be as bad. I always got the secondary one as a backup, but not everything single handheld has 2. It should be mandatory. Heck, on something this thick, it should have a frickin' regular USB port on there too. I think some of them do, actually. I like his little AI glove thing. This guy might not appreciate it much, but I think it's pretty neat. He seems just not like machines.
Wizard, this is P3. Come in.
Sergey.
Alright, interesting. I don't think that one dropped under 60 in that same scene. Maybe it has something to do with the extra VRAM? I don't know. But then this one did some weird stutters that the other one didn't do, so...
Victor Petrov.
It is the way it is.
He's a traitor who hacked into Collective Central Hub and caused the civilian robots to attack facility employees. Petrov has the access codes for the hub. The mission is to find him. Bring him to me, alive.
Copy that, sir. The target is Victor Petrov. My mission is to find him and bring him to you.
Exactly. Sectionov out.
Alright. I thought there was another one that starts coming to life that you have to take out. Maybe he was over here. There he is. And it looks like he can't even do anything anyway. I'm just going to put him out of his misery, even though he doesn't deserve it. Although I guess it's not their fault they got taken over and got told to do evil. They're just machines after all. You tell them to do something, they do it. Hello, chicken. Thank you for not trying to kill me like most of the other chickens. That's just so weird, but it's so cool at the same time.
Holy shit. Hey, Glove.
Yes, Major.
Any details on the target?
Alright, I think with that, we can go ahead and wrap this video on up. Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Atomic Heart on the Ally X and Z1 Extreme, and it did a great job, just like the Steam Decks. Now that one dropped, now the Z1 Extreme dropped under 60 once on low. I don't believe the X did in the same spot, but the X had some wonky frame times coming down from that weird escalator scene that takes like a minute and a half that I just decided to skip from now on. I think I went up once and I was like, okay, nope, that's way too long. We're not doing that again. That's wasting people's time, and I don't want to do that. That's why I love just being able to pause. I should set that up as another key on my other, like Firebat and all the other systems that I use it on, instead of just having to stop it, you know? But in any case, it runs very well on both of them. Definitely more playable on even the Steam Deck. This one's just able to stay at 60 more often, on 720p low anyway. But if you do 900p medium, maybe throw a setting or two on high, it'd probably stay above 30 everywhere. If you're one of those people that doesn't care about 60 FPS, that is. But in any case though, I think we're about done with this video. It's time for me to go get started on the Firebat Mini PC. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.